Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lauren if you're new here. If you're returning, you're probably asking yourself, why do I look like a corpse today? I have been using that YSL Touche Éclat, concealer, and it's horrible. It does not conceal, let's just put it that way. So I'm looking a little tired today. I blame YSL for that, so yeah. Today I'm really excited. Me and my co-host Ritzy are going to be talking about the new collection from Unearthly Cosmetics and the issues that I had with the customer service during this order. We're going to talk about it because I think it's important to talk about. I think it's kind of important to tell people your experience if it wasn't one that left you completely satisfied, and I want to talk about it. But first off, let's get into what we're talking about. We're going to be talking about the Dreamer collection, which is their winter collection. And first off, their packaging is always flawless. It's amazing. Like, they do such a good job with both inner and outer packaging, making sure like everything arrives in one piece. Like, I give them like huge points for doing all the work to making sure things get there safely. But this is the collection that we're going to be talking about today. So we are going to be doing a look with the eyeshadow palette. It also comes with a highlighter palette, and there's 4 lipsticks. So warning, I'm only going to show you 3 of them because one of them is basically kind of like just the color of my face, and it's not going to look good on me. So I'll show you which color that is that I'm not going to be swatching, I'm not going to be using. But 3 of the colors are more on the neutral side of things, but they're gorgeous. So I'm really excited to show you because I've swatched them. They're so creamy, they feel so nice, so I'm excited to show you. But this is what we're going to be talking about today. As I go through the look, I'm going to be telling you just my experience ordering from this brand. Now, the last time I ordered from Unearthly, that was for their Halloween launch. Flawless, perfect, nothing went wrong. I got everything exactly when I expected to get it. It was great. But this time went a little bit different. So as we get into the look, I'm going to talk about it. And if it would stop me from ordering from this brand again, because, customer service is very important to me. So let's talk about it. But first, what we're going to do is let me show you the palette. What am I doing? Okay, so this is the eyeshadow palette that we're going to be doing a look with. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is just pinky purple. Like, it's just a great winter palette. If you like pinks and purples, and I like these pinks. Okay, I'm not a big pink fan, but I like these pinks, and I love purple. So, very excited to put this on my face. And then the highlighter palette. Let me show you that, because that's also very exciting. So, the outer packaging matches the eyeshadow palette. This is what the inner packaging looks like. So you get 3 different colored highlighters. I'll be swatching those as well so that you can see them. But let's just get into this so I can kind of talk about my experience. We're only gonna do one look today. So I'm gonna do one eye, and then I'm gonna replicate the exact same look on the other eye. And as we do the one eye, I will tell you just what went down with this brand. It's definitely not the worst experience I've had. When you deal with indies, sometimes it's very much a toss-up, but it was a little bit frustrating, so I just wanted to talk about it with you. But first, let's get into the swatches, and then we will get into the look and the story. Okay, I have the highlighter palette blocking the mirror so I don't blind you, but let's get into these swatches because this looks like a really beautiful palette. So first, we're going to start with Night Owl. Ooh. Imaginary. That one's not swatching super well. Muse. Tranquil. Engulf. Drift. It's pretty. Float. Soothe. It's a really light transition color. Fantasy. This one has a darker color base to it, which is really nice. I like that. Slumber. Ooh. It's almost like holographic shimmers in there. This is Dream State. And last but not least, we have Clouded, which is really interesting gray brownie color. It looks kind of brownish in the palette, but it's definitely swatching just straight up gray, isn't it? Here is the palette all swatched out. Very pretty. Okay, today the primer I'm using is from Give Me Glow. This is their eyeshadow primer in the color Parchment. It's one of my favorite primers and it's like $4 right now. That's great. Okay, so let's first decide what we're gonna do with this look today. This is such an interesting color. It's gray. I don't know why it looked brown to me before, but it's definitely gray. It's swatched gray. Sometimes, you know, like I just can't see. But let's go ahead. Let's go into, I think Soothe is gonna be the best transition color. I'm gonna put that one all over my upper eyelid to start with. And then let me tell you about my story. So I have notes down here, like kind of the timeline of events. So if I'm looking down, it's probably what I'm doing. I'm taking a look at my notes. Oh, this is not the right brush. Okay, well, we're just gonna go with it. Okay. I actually washed my brushes. I'm really proud of myself. Okay, so this collection was a pre-order. Now, pre-orders are, look, nobody likes a pre-order. They're annoying, but it makes sense when you're an indie company, you're a small company, you don't want to make too much product and let it go to waste because sometimes you just don't have the overhead to allow that to happen, right? Like that could like make or break your business. So pre-orders, totally, like I understand them. Like the only reason I don't like pre-orders is because I am an impatient lady. So it's more on me than it is on them, I would say. So when I ordered it, there wasn't really an expected timeline as to when it would ship, but I saw on Instagram a lot of this information is gonna come from Instagram, one of my least favorite sources of facts, you know, facts, but there were a couple posts that said that it would probably ship like mid-December. It is a winter collection, so that made sense, right? Like they want to get it to you before all the holidays, before New Year's. That makes sense to me. Next, we are going to go into this mauvey pink Muse. It's really pretty. I'm going to just do it on the outer ends of my eye. I'm going to be real basic today. Okay, so that's kind of when I was expecting like a shipment notification. Again, when I got their Devour collection, which was their Halloween collection, no issues. It shipped around the correct timeline as what they had posted, what they said it was going to ship like. This one, I think there were some issues with production, or I don't know exactly what the holdup was, but I didn't get a shipping notification that week. And I actually saw quite a few people posting on Unearthly's posts on Instagram. Again, I'm sorry, on Instagram. And they were asking, hey, like, you know, when is this supposed to ship? We haven't gotten a notification, just curious, I haven't heard anything. So there's been at this point like no communication from the brand as to if there's a delay when it's actually going to ship. So, you know, and it's only a couple days past the 15th. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, people wanted to know, people were excited. So I ended up emailing their help center on the 18th, which was a Monday. And there's, you know, like normally pretty typical, there's an automatic response. And they say, hey, like, we'll get back to you within 24 to 48 business hours, not days, whew. And I was like, okay, great, that sounds great, you know, great. I didn't hear anything from them. So on the 22nd, which is Friday, I originally emailed them on Monday, followed up on Friday. I sent another email and I said, hi, I still haven't gotten any response. Can you please let me know like when this order is expected to ship? Like I would just like to know, you know? And it could have been a response as simple as like, hey, so sorry for the delay. We're still trying to figure out ship dates, but it'll be shipped before, I don't know, the 15th of January. Any sort of timeline would have been nice, you know? And I saw kind of the same thing happening on Instagram. People were asking about it and they weren't getting a response. And it was just kind of quiet. And a lot of people were like, yeah, what's going on? What's going on? So let's see. Then at some point when everyone is asking about it on Instagram, they comment on a couple people's comments. They reply and they say, oh, you know, hey, like we are going to be sending out an email regarding the Dreamer collection. So just be on the lookout tomorrow for this email. It's like, great. That sounds great. I love it. There was no email. So no email was sent out the next day. I saw lots of people replying within Instagram. Again, that's where I'm getting a lot of this information. I saw a lot of people replying, did not get an email. Is the email going out? Then I saw the brand responded and said, oh, what was it? It was something like, we decided to give our designer an extra day for this email. It'll go out the following day. Did it go out that day? I think it went out the day after that. It took a little while for this email to be sent out. And when it was sent out, nobody got it. Nobody got it. So I did not get it. So I was looking again on Instagram. I'm gonna go into slumber. I'm gonna kind of deepen the look and put it on the outer edges. So, you know, again, a lot of this is happening on Instagram. A lot of people are like, okay, now you said that you sent out the email. I did not get the email, but I ordered this collection. What's going on? Can you make a post about it? You know, like we would like to know. And I think one of the responses from the brand was along the lines of, oh, have you signed up for our newsletter? That would definitely ensure that you get any communications. That makes no sense to me. As a consumer who consumes quite a bit, that does not make sense to me, because it should be anyone who has the order, who has ordered that product. You should be able to email without a problem because you have the confirmation emails. And you know, it was definitely my email that was on there, and I did not get anything from them. I think it was like the following Friday they posted a story on their Instagram, which stories disappear. So it's kind of the worst form of communication, right? Like if you really want to get something across to your customers, don't post a story knowing it's going to disappear. Just post it and pin it so we can reference it. But they posted a story basically saying like, hey, this is going to ship in the beginning of January, if not earlier, so be on the lookout. And I did end up receiving mine on the 11th, I believe. It's delivered on 1/11, so you know, that was early January. Like that's fine, like I'll take that. And I did actually finally get a response from customer service on the 29th where they said, hey, we're planning on shipping within the next 3 business days. So that was basically my experience with the shipping of this palette. Seen a lot of people online get frustrated over communication that turned out to be inaccurate from the brand, or lack of communication completely, which is something that actually like bothers me. It's the lack of communication. You know, even saying something as simple as our goal is to get it shipped by this timeline, anything like that, anything saying that, I don't know, any sort of timeline would have been really appreciated. So that's what happened with this collection. I did end up getting it a little bit later than I thought. Honestly, since I ordered it on the 16th, typically pre-orders are about 4 to 8 weeks, typically in indie companies. That's what I've seen. So that's not even a surprising timeline. That makes sense. I just wish there had been better communication from the brand regarding this issue. I wish anybody who had ordered this product, because I ordered the whole collection, which was expensive. It's not like, it's not nothing, you know? I just wish that anyone who had been a part of that order, who had been affected by delays, got an email or got some sort of response from customer service. That's kind of where I am with it. Okay, so we are now gonna go into, you know, I did not love how Tranquil and Imaginary swatched. So I think we should go into those. But first I'm gonna go into Clouded here. I'm gonna put that all over my lid, and I think I'm gonna layer Imaginary, this pretty pink, on top to see what that looks like. Because I think because it has like no base color, I'm gonna need to put down a color on my lid. Now, would this experience stop me from buying anything from this company going forward? Is this like my worst experience with an indie company? No, no. I have been in the indie community for a while, and not just with makeup. During, you know, the time where everything shut down, I can't say it on YouTube or they'll like, I don't know, hide my video. But during that time period, I got really into indie perfumeries. So very, very small itty bitty companies that are producing these like really interesting scents. I love indie products, all indie products. So, I mean, I guess that's what I did when we weren't doing anything. But I have had some horrendous customer service from some of those companies. I've also had some of the best customer service ever. So it, you know, just like any big company, it's gonna be a mixed bag always. I think for this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of glitter primer on my eye where I want to put that pretty pink color to hold it a little bit better. So yeah, I have experienced some just abysmal shipping communication, you know, from some small companies that have actually, you know, made me decide not to purchase from them again. There's a subreddit where it's all about like indie makeup and perfume. And if you go on it and if you search for the drama, you'll be able to find there's a couple companies that have just kind of been red listed. Well, I guess it's blacklisted from the indie community, because no matter how great the products they produce are, their customer service is bonkers bad. And with one of them, it was like, I waited months before finally having to do a chargeback on my credit card, which was the first time I've ever had to do a chargeback. And it was not an experience I wanted to do again, so I decided not to order from that company again. And I did. I did order from that company again because, you know, I really liked their perfume, and same thing happened. I ended up having to do a chargeback again. I got no communication from that business at all. It was terrible. It was like really, really disappointing because it was, you know, some perfume that I really, really wanted, and it just, you know, unfortunately didn't happen. And then finally on the second time I learned. So I've experienced customer service where it will definitely prevent me from buying from the brand in the future. But is that the situation here? You know, am I going to continue to buy from Unearthly, or is this like a big enough issue for me where I don't feel like I should purchase from this brand again? I'm going to think on that. I'm going to do the other eye exactly the same. I'm probably going to put Muse underneath my waterline, just FYI. But I'm going to do eyeliner and mascara, and then I'll be right back, and then we'll talk about my thoughts. We'll talk about if I would, you know, what my plans are for the future for Unearthly. So be right back. Why does just putting on makeup just make everything better? Like, it just makes everything better. Okay, really fast, I'm gonna put in some swatches of the highlighter palette, then I will continue my story. Okay, swatching the 3 highlighters. I'm really excited for these. They look very pretty. But we have first up Wish, which is gold. And then we have Solace, which is more of a bronzy kind of rose gold shimmer. And then we have Days, which is pink, a bit hard to pick up. So this is what it looks like without the beauty lights on. Let me go ahead and turn those on, see what they look like. There we go. Oh my God, yes, that's a train if you can hear it. But very pretty, very pretty. Okay, we're gonna go into the rose gold bronzy one, Solace, right here. And I'm gonna use that as my highlighter today. Okay, sorry, I'm not trying to like leave you guys hanging. Ooh, it's pretty. Oh, I like that. Now in their Devour collection, they had just the coolest blush highlighter duo. I hope they do more unique stuff like that. But okay, I'm so sorry. Yes, I would absolutely buy from this brand again. And that is because the pros so much outweigh any cons that I had with this particular instance. And you know what? This particular like instance also is not, it's not terrible customer service. It's just, I think they can work on their communication a little bit better, right? I think using Instagram as your main platform for communicating with your customers is never a good idea, partly because a lot of people just aren't on Instagram, right? So you could potentially be having people who have ordered this collection and just have no idea, didn't get the email, just there's been no communication. So they're not looking at Instagram the way apparently I am looking at Instagram. So they just might not see. So I think really fixing like that customer service aspect would help a lot. It would definitely, like maybe they need to add more people to the team. Maybe they just need to have a more direct line with their, help team, because, normally what's going on is that with indie companies, it could even just be, the manager of the company, like doing all of this, like being the help team. I don't think it was, but maybe she just needs to communicate like what's going on a little bit better so that the help team knows exactly how they should be responding to the customers. It's a small company, so I think I always allow them a little more wiggle room than I would with, say, a bigger, more established company. And I also feel like Unearthly, at least in my opinion, has really kind of blown up this year or over the past 2023. I just think all the collections they've been coming out with have been just so unique and creative and beautiful. So I think hopefully they'll be able to expand their team to kind of match the growth that they're seeing. Because I know they have to be growing. They have to be growing because I just bought their last 2 complete collections. So if I'm buying complete collections, I know other people are too. And they're just so well done. Like their products are well done. The packaging is just on point. They clearly care about all their products, making it to you in one piece. And that means a lot to me, like good packaging. I've gotten like palettes that have been bubble wrapped in like little mailers, and they don't always make it. Like they do not always make it. But this box is padded, it's thick, like this box is gonna survive some things. I also just love the boxes. Like I kept the Devour one. I don't know what to do with it, but I love it. It's great. So yeah, this was a little bit of I would call it an annoying situation. I didn't love what happened, but it's not enough to put me off from buying from them in the future. I will say though, if it turns into something that I'm like habitually seeing from them, that's when it could be something where I'm like, okay, well, I guess I don't need every collection from them if this is gonna happen every single time, I'm gonna show you the swatches of the lipsticks really fast. And I really wanted to show you those swatches because I've never tried lipsticks from Unearthly and they're so creamy. They feel so nice. We're gonna put on some lipstick and then I'm gonna talk about this collection. So let's get into it. Okay, I do want to do swatches of the 3 lipsticks. So let's start with, is that ZZZ, like sleeping? Why is this not, there we go. This one is the darkest of the bunch. I'm gonna swatch, I think, on this side. Ooh, those are, okay, super creamy. I love that. It feels great. And then we have, let's see, Cloudland. This one, yeah, that one's not quite as dark. So let's swatch that one. It's more of a neutral mauve. Very pretty. Not a color that I normally go for, so I am interested to see how it goes. This is Vision. The pinkier of the 3 that we're swatching. Those are really gorgeous. Like, I haven't tried a lipstick from Unearthly before, but these were really creamy. Went on really nicely. Okay, I'm really excited to use these. So I liked all of them. But I think what I'm feeling for this look is Vision. So this is Vision. I'm just gonna pop it on. I'm gonna fast forward through this part. It's so awkward putting lipstick on camera. Some people are great at it, not me. Oh, that's really pretty. It's a lot more nude than any color I would typically wear. You probably have seen me in a lot of red. I love red. But this is a great color. Their lipsticks are, I mean, again, this is the first time I've tried them, but they're just so soft and creamy on the lips, but yet they like have a lot of pigment. Like they're very, very beautiful. I really like them. Okay, let's talk about this collection. Let's talk about the Dreamer collection from Unearthly Cosmetics. Now that I've told my story about just my process ordering this time, and again, I'm not completely thrilled with how it went, but also I think there's so much room for them to grow from this. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but the owner did do a live where she talked about some of the challenges that she's been facing and how she's planning on, I know they're having some issues with their warehouse, so that's something that she's gonna address. So, you know, I hope that she sees the comments, you know, under some of her posts and realizes, hey, maybe communication is something that we can work on a little bit as well. But let's talk about the actual collection. Let's talk about if I would recommend it. Do I like it? Do I love it? Now, again, this is really, I ordered some things from Unearthly like years ago. I think when they were still calling themselves Alien Cosmetics. I'm pretty sure that was the same company. And I have not ordered from them in a while until that Halloween collection, the Devour collection. It just sucked me in. It was so good. It was so good. Now, the Dreamer collection, I bought it because I absolutely love this color story. I think this is such a great winter palette because it's not like totally dark and stormy, right? You've got like some fun pops of color in there, but it's a good mix of both. Like you can do a more grungy look, you can do a like darker, smoky, wintry look, or you can jazz it up a little bit, which is what I did today by using Imaginary, which, you know, when I swatched that color, Imaginary and Tranquil, I was a little nervous about because with swatching them, they wasn't very smooth and creamy. It was a little bit kind of powdery, and I just was a little worried about how they would look on the eyes. I used a little bit of glitter glue, and I think that was perfect because I really like how Imaginary looks on the eyes. With the mattes, we used Soothe, Muse, and Slumber, as well as Clouded. They worked fine. I was actually surprised by how little fallout I got. There's a little bit of fallout on there, but I think that's actually from Imaginary. Everything else, there was no fallout. They blended out well. I really liked them. I really like the palette. I think it's great. So if this is a color story that speaks to you, I've been really liking their formula. I think it's great. And some of these just felt so creamy. I'm really excited to use them. Like pretty much any of the colors down here, shimmer wise, like Float, Fantasy, Dream State, actually Drift as well. They all felt great when I swatched them. It was just those two, but honestly, like after using Imaginary, like I think it went on great. So I do like this palette. I really like the color story. I actually like the pinks in here. A lot of the times I'll complain about pinks because I'm not a huge pink fan, but these are all pinks that I actually really like. I like a good bright pink, and I like a more mauve-y pink, and these are definitely more on the mauve-y side. So definitely my color story. I really like it. I really like this palette, and I really like the outer packaging too. The highlighter palette, it's not quite as vivid as the last collection. Like I really do like that they gave you a variety of highlighters with this one. And these are actually highlighters that I could use on a more day-to-day basis because they can go on really soft, or I think you can layer them on a little bit more. Like for me, I didn't layer them on too heavy, and this is actually something that I could just like go to work with, you know, just like a little bit of shimmer. It kind of like makes you look like a movie star a little bit, but without looking too obvious, you know? You're getting some shimmer, but it's not like in your face. There are some brands like Give Me Glow, which is one of my favorite brands, but their highlighters take no prisoners. Like they're insane. Not super work friendly, but this, I feel like all of these colors are really work friendly, which is nice. I like the highlighter palette, not as much as I liked the Devour face palette that they came out with. It was just so unique and inventive. It was just really, really cool. So I hope they do something more like that in the future for their next collection. I wonder if they're gonna be coming out with anything for Valentine's Day. Maybe they will, we'll see. But I think that would give them opportunity to do a lot of fun stuff. Valentine's Day, right? But I do like it. I don't think it's anything necessarily super unique in my collection, but I'm definitely gonna use it, especially for work. I'm probably gonna leave it out by my sink so I can just pull it out and reach for it and get more use out of it to like really deep try it, you know? I totally forgot to show you the lipstick that I will not be swatching really fast, and it is in the color Dreamer, and it is just more of a nude brown. It's not my color, but I wanted to show you. But I really do think that the standouts of this collection are actually the lipsticks, which, you know, I would rarely say, because I am a eyeshadow palette girl all the way. But these lipsticks just feel so great on your mouth, and their like packaging is magnetic. I love magnetic packaging, and these are great colors. They're, you know, honestly, this is a color vision that I would normally not go for because I don't typically go for more neutral lipsticks, but I really like it. I really like it, and it just, again, it feels so nice on the lips. So I am really stoked to try out the other colors. Again, not this one, but the other colors, because they just look fantastic. They felt fantastic when I swatched them. Can I say fantastic again? No. I just felt like those are the items from this collection that really got my attention, that got me really excited. But overall, I really loved the entire Dreamer collection. I think they did a great job tying everything in. It's a very cohesive collection, meaning I feel like everything goes well with each other. So the lipstick matches the palette, matches the kind of more toned down highlighter palette. So I really like it. I think they did a great job. I am happy to have this in my collection, and I just really hope that going forward, we will see a little bit better communication with Unearthly, and they'll kind of, I don't know, take this launch into consideration and just maybe just make their pre-orders longer. And then if they ship earlier, then they ship earlier. But, you know, just kind of extend those pre-orders to give themselves enough time to ensure that customers are very aware of the timeline, you know? Because it's always great to get something earlier. It's a little bit of a bummer when it arrives later than when you're expecting it. But overall, that's not going to dissuade me from ordering from them again. I am really excited to see what they come out in 2024 because, you know, 2023, I kind of rediscovered them and I really like what they've been doing. So, I'm going to stop talking. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you did, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!